The first time the United States impeached a president in 1868, the decisive vote that kept Chief Executive Andrew Johnson from being removed from office was cast by Edmund G. Ross, a guy from Topeka, shown here. This is Tim Rencher, the history guy for CJ Online, talking about Ross. Ross is shown in this photo provided by the Kansas State Historical Society. He was born in 1826 in Ohio and lived at Milwaukee before moving in 1856 to Topeka, where he became involved in territorial politics while working as a newspaper publisher. After serving in the Union Army during the Civil War, Ross returned to Topeka, then was appointed in 1866 to fill the vacant U.S. Senate seat left open by the gunshot suicide of fellow Republican Jim Lane, shown here. At the time, a bitter struggle was underway in Congress between Republicans who advocated being tough on the defeated southern states and President Andrew Johnson, shown here, a Democrat whose policy was one of reconciliation. The U.S. House of Representatives in 1868 impeached Johnson on charges that included an allegation that by attempting to remove from office Secretary of War Edwin Stanton, shown here, he violated a law then in effect that banned the president from removing civil officers without senatorial consent. As Johnson's trial progressed, it became clear that the Republicans simply wanted him out and didn't intend to give him a fair trial. Future President John F. Kennedy wrote in his Pulitzer Prize-winning 1956 book, Profiles in Courage. Votes from a two-thirds majority of 36 of the 54 senators were needed to remove Johnson, meaning 19 no votes would keep him in office. 18 senators, including 12 Democrats and 6 Republicans, revealed they didn't think there was sufficient evidence to convict Johnson. Ross didn't make his stance public until it was time to vote. He provided the deciding 19th no vote on each of 3 different articles of impeachment, meaning Johnson stayed in office. Ross said afterward that he could not morally justify betraying his principles by finding Johnson guilty of crimes over what Ross considered to be mere differences of opinion regarding government policy. Ross then lost when he ran to try to keep his Senate seat in 1870. He later moved to New Mexico, where he was appointed territorial governor in 1885 and served until 1889. Ross died at age 80 in 1907 in New Mexico. This is Tim Rencher, the history guy for CJ Online.